The warning of Iranian or proxy terrorism issued by Israel's security officials was based on incoming intelligence that Tehran's revenge for the death of top nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh last month would likely come in the form of terrorist attacks. The Lebanese Hizballah, which maintains a clandestine global network, would be the foremost candidate proxy for this operation. The security advisory issued by the Coounterterror Authority in Jerusalem on Thursday, December 3, specifically warned Israeli travelers that they risked being targeted on their trips to the UAE's Abu Dhabi and Dubai, Bahrain, Georgia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, semi-autonomous Iraqi Kurdistan and parts of Africa. They were told to be extra vigilant and avoid crowded places, unsecured locations, and government centers. Thousands of Israelis, enthusiastic globetrotters, even during the COVID pandemic, are currently vacationing in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Around 100 flights to those destinations are scheduled for next week in the first eager flush of friendship generated by the epic UAE normalization pact with Israel. They have now been made aware of the active Iranian and Hizballah networks lurking in nearby Qatar, and their penetration by these hostile elements of expatriate Lebanese and Shiite expatriate communities in East Africa. Government officials were instructed to postpone planned trips to the Gulf. Extra guards are posted at Israel's overseas diplomatic missions and Jewish centers. The threat may also hang over those staying at home. On Friday, security officials alerted former nuclear research and other senior staff of the Dimona Nuclear Research Center in southern Israel to danger. They were advised to alter their regular habits, including walking routes, refrain from opening strange packages, and be on the lookout for unusual events. Since the Fakhrizadeh death, they were told that Iranian spies may be monitoring their activities online and on social media. Conscious of the terrorist threat from Iran and its proxies, the U.S. State Department this week decided to pull dozens of staffers from its embassy in the fortified Green Zone of Baghdad, this being the aftermath of the Fakhrizadeh killing and the first anniversary date of the U.S. drone attack that killed Qasem Soleimani. Tehran has vowed revenge for both these grave losses. For the past decade, U.S. and Israeli intelligence have kept a close watch on the covert networks run by Iran and Hizballah worldwide and their nefarious activities. This year, the U.S. posted a standing reward of up to $10 million for information leading to the disruption of its financial mechanism, which is built around a criminal drugs-cum-money laundering system. In 2017, the Justice Department charged 2 naturalized U.S. citizens holding Lebanese passports with providing material support for Hezbollah. Last May, on a tip-off from Israel's Mossad, Germany discovered Hezbollah's illegal operations on its soil and banned it as a Shiite terrorist organization. That same month, Israel's domestic security service Shin Bet arrested 2 women who tried to enlist residents of the Israeli Arab town of Magd al-Krum in the Galilee as Hezbollah operatives. In July 2012, Hezbollah targeted a group of Israeli tourists in at Burgas airport in Bulgaria, killing 6 people, 5 tourists and the local driver. In February of that year, 3 terrorist bombing attacks on Israeli diplomats in Thailand, Georgia, and India fell apart. Iran and Hezbollah have built up far-flung bases of operation outside the Middle East, especially in Latin America, with resources for striking U.S. interests far afield. Venezuelan officials have been tied to Hezbollah. But the terrorist group's roots on the continent first surfaced in the 90s in 1994 bombing attacks on the Jewish center in Buenos Aires, killing 85 people and injuring more than 300, 2 years after a Hezbollah suicide bomber attacked the Israeli embassy in the Argentine capital, killing 21 people and injuring more than 200. The timing of the next potential terrorist outrage by Iran or its proxies is a matter of speculation. Israeli security experts suggest a time frame before Joe Biden's swearing in as president on January 20, but too close to that date to give President Donald Trump time for retaliation. This question was no doubt discussed when U.S. and Israel military intelligence officers met this week to discuss cooperation against an Iranian reprisal.